When you hear the name Leonardo da Vinci, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably the Mona Lisa, right? Or maybe the Last Supper. We all see him as this master painter of the Renaissance. But what if that's not even half the story? What if the real Leonardo was someone his own time couldn't even begin to wrap its head around?
I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It completely reframes his entire life. This isn't just about a guy being innovative or clever. No, this is about a fundamental mismatch, a singular mind born into a world that just wasn't ready for it. And that, right there, is the key to his whole story.
So, let's dive into this idea. Leonardo da Vinci was pretty literally a man out of time. He wasn't just thinking about what might happen next year or even next decade. He was designing entire futures, centuries down the road. And we're not talking about a few lucky guesses here. We're talking about incredibly detailed mechanical, anatomical, and engineering insights that the world simply had no context for. The gap between what he was seeing in his mind and what the world saw as reality, it wasn't years, it was centuries. And the proof? Well, it was hiding in plain sight the whole time.
The evidence for this incredible foresight is right there, in his personal notebooks. And these weren't just diaries or sketchpads. Oh no, they were blueprints for a world that didn't exist yet.
I mean, you look inside these notebooks and it's mind-blowing. He's got detailed designs for flying machines that work like birds. He's got these unbelievably accurate anatomical drawings that were light years ahead of medical science. And then there are countless other inventions that just completely defy what was possible in his time.
We throw that word visionary around a lot these days. But Leonardo, he gives it its true meaning. He wasn't just daydreaming about a different future. He was actively engineering it. Its machines, its biology, its very infrastructure. He was the ultimate visionary. But, and this is a big but, it came at a huge cost.
And this is where we get to the really tragic part of his story. Can you imagine having a mind that operates on a completely different timeline from everyone else around you? It must have been so isolating. This is the central conflict of his life, his absolutely limitless genius versus his very limited reality.
This comparison just says it all, doesn't it? To the world, he was a famous artist, a genius at capturing the present moment on a canvas. But privately, in his own notebooks, he was an engineer, an anatomist, an inventor, a lonely designer of a future that literally no one else could see.
So what happened to all these brilliant, world-changing ideas? Well, for the most part, absolutely nothing. They just stayed there, locked away in his notebooks. So much of his most profound work was left unfinished. His greatest ideas went totally unexplored. And his true, multifaceted genius, it went almost completely unnoticed.
Just let that number sink in. Over 500 years. It took more than half a millennium for science and technology to finally get to a place where we could look back at his notes and really, truly understand the sheer scale of what he'd already figured out. 500 years.
But the story doesn't end there. History has a funny way of circling back on itself. His legacy wasn't lost forever. It was just delayed. The world did eventually catch up, and when it did, we rediscovered the real Leonardo.
Try to wrap your head around this timeline. So it's around the year 1500, and Leonardo is sketching out ideas for things that look a lot like helicopters and scuba gear. Then, centuries go by. Slowly but surely, the world starts to invent these things on its own. It's only now, today, that we can look back and connect the dots and realize, wow, he had the blueprints all along.
So in the end, he didn't leave behind finished flying machines or working prototypes. He left behind his notebooks, thousands upon thousands of pages, filled with his questions, his sketches, his wild ideas. He left us a giant puzzle, really, a mystery for the future to solve, and a powerful testament to a mind that was simply born too soon.
And that leaves us with one last kinda heavy thought. Leonardo's story proves it's totally possible for world-changing ideas to exist long, long before we're ready for them. So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Whose genius might we be admiring for all the wrong reasons right now? Whose notebooks are sitting on a shelf somewhere, completely unseen, just waiting for the rest of us to catch up?